Hello everyone! Today we are going to learn piacere, piacere verb. Now, premise to this is that piacere is sort of a very weird verb. For practical reasons, though that's not entirely true, but for practical reasons we say we are not going to conjugate piacere except for its third person. Third person singular, lui, lei, and third person plural, meaning loro. Alright, so in present tense, piacere, to like, is going to sound either piace, piace, or piacciono, piacciono. So in present tense, primarily we're going to have only two forms of the verb piacere, piace and piacciono. This is a weird verb because your subject, so the person that likes whatever it is not going to be expressed with the persons we have learned so far, for instance, for avere or essere, so for to have or to be. The persons are going to be different. To say I like, I'll say mi piace or mi piacciono. To say you like, ti piace or ti piacciono. To say he or she likes, we are going to say gli piace, he likes, le piace, she likes. Careful here, this is not lei, this is le, L-E, that's it. Le piace or le piacciono. To say we like, again, is going to be ci piace or ci piacciono. To say you guys like, that's vi piace or vi piacciono. To say they like is gli piace. Whether that's a group of all women or a group of males, that makes no difference whatsoever. So they like is going to be gli piace or gli piacciono. So let's recap all of this together. Mi piace, mi piacciono. Ti piace, ti piacciono. Gli piace, gli piacciono. Le piace, le piacciono. Ci piace, ci piacciono. Vi piace, vi piacciono. Gli piace, gli piacciono. How do I choose when to have piace and when to have piacciono? That's the actual question. The answer there is very simple. If you have a noun that's plural, we are going to have piacciono, regardless of who's the subject. Okay? So in other words, if what I like is plural, is a plural noun, then I would use piacciono. Example, mi piacciono le macchine. I like cars. Mi piacciono le macchine. But if I want to say that I like the car, singular, mi piace la macchina. So I'm picking either piace or piacciono, not on the virtue of who likes, but on the virtue of what is liked. If what is liked is singular, if what is liked is a verb, then I'm going to use piace, regardless of the subject. If what is liked is plural, a plural noun, then I'm going to use piacciono. Now that we know how piacere works, we need the most pivotal block of knowledge that we could possibly have, which is our very center of any type of communication, which is nouns and articles. So the first thing we have to understand is that nouns that refer to objects in Italian are either feminine nouns or masculine nouns. How do we learn to discern one from the other? In other words, how can we understand what's a masculine noun and what's a feminine noun? So when it comes to nouns that refer to objects in Italian, a noun is either feminine or masculine. There's no other way around that. How do I discern what's masculine from what's feminine then? Very simply, I look at the ending of that noun. If that noun ends with the O, it's going to be masculine. Examples: bambino, boy; bambino, gatto, gatto; male cat; gatto, cat, male cat; letto, bed, where you sleep; tavolo, tavolo, table; piatto, piatto, dish. So if a noun is masculine, it will end in O. Specifically, that's true if the noun is masculine and singular. So in other words, I will say il gatto, the male cat; il bambino, the baby boy; il letto, the bed; il piatto, the dish. Yet, if I want to say something plural, all I need to do is change the ending of that noun. So if I have gatto, cat, one male cat, I will say gatti, multiple male cats. Specifically, instead of saying il gatto, the cat, I will say I gatti. So il, article used for masculine singular nouns, would become I when it's plural. So il masculine singular nouns, I masculine plural nouns. Gatto would change from the ending in O to the ending in I. Gatti. Il gatto, I gatti. Il gatto, I gatti. Il tavolo, the table. Il tavolo, I tavoli. The table, the tables. Il tavolo, I tavoli. Il bambino, the baby boy. I bambini, the baby boys. So now it's your turn. If I say il piatto, how do we pluralize? How do we make that plural? In other words, how do we say the dishes? If the dish is il piatto, the dishes is, I hope you got it right, I piatti. I piatti. If I want to say the wall is il muro. So in order to pluralize that, we're going to change il to I and O to I. Il muro would become I muri, the walls. If I want to say the roof, then I'm going to say il tetto, plural would become I tetti, I tetti. Very simply, we are going to change il to I in terms of article. That's what we call determinative article, the, and the ending from O to I, my I, your I. Il gatto, I gatti. So if I want to say I like the cat, and the cat is male, I'm going to say mi piace il gatto. For instance, I could say mi piace il gatto di Maria. Di, of, indicating belonging. Mi piace il gatto di Maria. But if Maria has multiple cats, mi piacciono I gatti di Maria. Mi piacciono, because multiple cats, mi piacciono I gatti di Maria. If I want to say she likes the table, le piace il tavolo. Le piace il tavolo. Now, I could expand a little bit more. I could add qualities to the table. The way I do this is very, very simple. I just add di and then the material. For instance, mi piace il tavolo di legno. I like the wooden table. Mi piace il tavolo di legno. But if I want to say I like glass-made tables, that would be mi piacciono, plural, because tables. Mi piacciono i tavoli di vetro. Mi piacciono i tavoli di vetro. Now, let's switch it up a little bit. We are going from masculine nouns to feminine nouns. This is a whole different story, but not that complicated. If masculine singular nouns end in o, remember, goldfish mouth, o, feminine singular nouns end in a. So, for instance, il gatto would become la gatta. So, il, used for masculine singular nouns, becomes la for feminine singular specifically, and gatto, ending in o, would become gatta. Il gatto, one male cat, becomes la gatta. So, if I like the male cat, I will say mi piace il gatto. But if I like the female cat, then I would say mi piace la gatta. Just to be a little bit more of a cat lady, I will also say mi piacciono le gatte. Let's imagine that I don't like one female cat, but I like a bunch of female cats. Then in that case, I will need to say mi piacciono le, la becomes le in plural, right? Le gatte. So one female cat, la gatta. Multiple, at least two female cats. Then it's le, la becomes le, a becomes e, la gatta becomes le gatte. Let's make a few other examples. The window, la finestra. The windows, le finestre. La finestra, le finestre. The door, la porta, le porte. The curtain, la tenda, le tende. The banana, la banana, le banane. The chair, la sedia, le sedie. The jacket, la giacca, le giacche. La giacca, jacket, le giacche. So very simple in theory. So let's recap here. If the noun is masculine and singular, so if we're referring to one object and that object is classified as male in Italian, then we're going to say il, and that noun is going to end with o. Il gatto, il bambino, il tavolo, il muro, il letto. If that noun is masculine but plural, so I have more than one object there, and that object is male, then I'm going to use the article I, and the ending also is going to be I. For instance, I bambini, i tavoli, i muri, i letti, and so on and so forth. If the noun is feminine in singular, so one object, and that object is female, as article I'm going to use la, and the ending vowel of that noun is also going to be a. For instance, la gatta, la bambina, la sedia, the pen, la penna, the curtain, la tenda, etc., etc., etc. If that noun is feminine and plural, which means I'm referring to multiple female objects, then I'm going to use le, and the ending vowel is also going to be e. So, for instance, la gatta would become le gatte, la bambina would become le bambine, the curtain, la tenda, would become le tende, the pen, la penna, would become le penne. So if I want to apply this with piacere, I'm going to say mi piace il bambino, or mi piace la bambina. But I'm going to say mi piacciono i bambini, or mi piacciono le bambine. Gli piace, he likes. Gli piace il tavolo di legno, gli piacciono i tavoli di vetro, or gli piace la tenda, gli piacciono le finestre. If the noun is singular, or if I'm talking about a verb, I'm going to use piace. If the noun is plural, I'm going to use piacciono.